I better jump in fast. I can't afford the royalties on that Michael Jackson piece. I can't. I can't even afford that. You better kill that quickly, Miles, because that Michael Jackson music, I can afford some stuff. You play that too long, and when the bill comes in, I'm like, man, we played too much Michael Jackson. I couldn't afford it. I am delighted that you hear her voice already in the background. I am delighted to welcome into the studio the brilliant actress, the brilliant thespian, Sonequa Martin Green. And joining us on Zoom is David Ajala, best known as Michael Burham and Cleveland Booker, celebrating 10 years since their seminal series, Star Trek Discovery, started its long production journey in their latest projects, including Boston Blue, Law and Order. We'll get to that. But it was Star Trek Discovery that premiered on September 24th, over a decade ago now. And I thought I'd just look back a few years at this relationship with these two black folk in this series and what that did for black love and everything else. We can talk about it in this hour. Before I jump into the conversation, though, here's some sound from that series, Star Trek Discovery.
I just want to say thank you. This mission helped me find my way. I feel hope again. And as of yesterday, my sentence is commuted.
I heard. What's next?
You know, Grudge and I are still figuring it out. Future's still a bit of a scary word.
Future is a scary word for me, too. But you're here. You're alive. That's more than a lot of people have. I'm lucky. And I'm grateful. I was gonna wait until after the reception, but we're here now. And you should know. I never stopped.
You love me.
I love you.
I love you too. Possibly since the moment we met.
You were annoying as hell back then.
And you still love me.
I did.
Sonequa Martin Green, this is a long way from Russellville, Alabama.
Hey. It really is, but it's also, I don't know. I'll always be in Russellville in a lot of ways.
I ain't mad about that. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you,
and
too.
thank you for coming in studio. Here we are together again. It's been some time.
It has.
Well, as I said, it's a long way from Alabama, but here we are in somebody said L.A. stands for Lower Alabama.
Hey!
So here we are.
I'll take that.
Yeah, here we are anyway. David, good to have you. Sorry you can't join the party in studio, but it's good to hear your voice. How are you, sir?
No, sending so much love, Tab. It's great to speak with you and to be reconnected with S. M.
D-D-A. It's so good to hear your voice, brother.
I feel the love between the two of them already. I feel the love already. There are a couple of things. We'll get into this relationship and this love affair on screen and how many of us were so turned on by the notion that black love did survive into the future.
Yes.
That we would be seeing there. Some of you know the story. I love telling this story. I've told it so many times about the time that Nichelle Nichols ran into Dr. King. We rehearsed that story again about why Dr. King convinced her when she was thinking about leaving that show. Stay on Star Trek. Dr. King implored Nichelle Nichols not to leave that show. And his appeal essentially was that we need to see ourselves into the future. We got to see ourselves. And Nichelle Nichols was thinking about leaving Star Trek and was prepared to tell Gene Roddenberry on Monday after the weekend she made the decision to leave. She told Gene on Friday she was thinking about leaving. Gene said, "Don't do it now. Think about it over the weekend." Over the weekend, she bumps into Dr. King. Interestingly.
Exactly.
And Dr. King tells her, "Oh, don't you do that. Don't you do it." And so Nichelle stayed on the show. The rest is history. And there have been so many other African Americans who've been in these Star Trek franchises since then. But it means something, I think, for us to see ourselves into the future. Certainly the notion of black love. When we come forward, though, there's something about that clip that jumped out at me. And I wonder how well y'all were listening to it in this conversation and across the country right now. What jumped out at me in that clip was when somebody said that future is a scary word. I want to unpack that just for a second about black people and this notion of future and why future for us can be such a scary word. We just spent a half hour talking about this brother, Victor Glover, who is piloting Artemis 2 back to Earth this week. What's it mean in a moment like this to have a black man who's piloting this spaceship for real, right? This ain't TV. This is real life. Right. He's piloting this thing. But this notion of future and black people, I am a black futurist. But for some people, that word future is a very scary word. That line jumped out at me in that clip. We're going to start unpacking that first and then go from there. You're listening to Sonequa, Martin Green, and David Ajala right now, and I'm glad about it on Tavis Smiley.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Sonequa Martin Green and David Ajala, best known for their relationship over a decade ago on that seminal series Star Trek Discovery, and I just want to celebrate that. And I thought the timing of bringing them together now would be propitious, given everybody talking about this real-life brother, Victor Glover, who is piloting Artemis 2 back home later this week, Friday, I think they're expected to land. So this is a moment. I was saying to a guest earlier, Sonequa, that not to make you or that guest political, although he didn't mind, but we're in this moment where we have an administration that's running an anti-DEI agenda, running an anti-black agenda, and suggesting to the country in a variety of ways that you cannot be the most qualified and black for the job at the same time. And so into this moment steps this brother who's piloting this spaceship, which I just find funny. You can try all you want to deny our brilliance, to deny our excellence, but in a moment like this, people can see it.
Yeah.
And so it was an opportunity to talk about that last hour, and in this hour, the final hour of our show today, I thought I would invite you two in. So I'm glad that you and David could actually show up. So thank you for your time. Let me jump, as I said earlier, to that part of the clip that just jumped out at me. Future is a scary word. I'm giving you all the canvas you need to paint. I ain't boxing you in. Just talk to me about that notion as you see it.
Wow. Well, first of all, I know I can speak for David as well, that it means a lot to be here. So thank you for having us. Thank you for your time and everything that you've poured into us, right? I think that what those characters meant by it, what Michael Burnham meant by it, I even feel differently about now. At the time in the story, so much had happened. They had saved the universe again, and they were considering what life would look like building it together. And, you know, those near-death experiences, those times where everything is almost ruined and destroyed, and you come out of it, you're victorious, and you do it together. They always give you fresh perspective. And so what I meant as Burnham at the time was that, future can be a scary word, because what does it hold? What challenges is it going to hold? Am I going to make it, or is it going to destroy me? And I can say as Sonequa, I think that's a big question that we have as Black folks. And I'm sure other people too, but it's like, is the future going to destroy me? I think is the fear. And it certainly isn't in that story that we were telling. And I think because the two of them met each other so perfectly, they were so perfectly unified, that they could face the future together, and they could face it together with the hope that no, it's not going to destroy us, and it's certainly not, because we are facing it together. And I think that translates to now as well. And I believe that, I mean, if not for the love of Christ, what do I have? I have nothing. And so I know I won't be destroyed because I'm protected. But I don't know. I just covered quite a bit. You go, David.
David,
I gave you a lot.
No, I hear David. I hear you humming and amen. And so go on and run with it, Mr. Ajala.
Don't let SMG start speaking these words of power.
Yeah.
Things will shift. Just so you know, things will shift. Whether people are ready for it, it doesn't matter, because words of power will always land. Will always land. To think of the future and to be hopeful of the future can come at a cost. To fall in love, to desire love, to love on oneself, to love on a partner, it comes at a cost. And one of the poems which I hold so dearly is a poem by Erin Hansen. And it's very simple. It's the last two lines of the poem that I love the most. And there's two voices speaking. And the first voice says, "What if I fall?" And then the other voice says, "Oh, but my darling, what if you fly?" And for me, not to oversimplify things, but the power of love is knowing that there are obstacles ahead. There are challenges ahead. And anxiety creeps in because we're thinking about a future that has not been decided yet. And with the awareness of the things around you, to still choose love, to still choose kindness, for me, is a rebellious act of faith. And I'm a firm believer in that. And as I stand here, I'm sat on the couch. But I am here through love because of the love of Christ, who's inspired me to have love for myself and to pour that out onto other people, friends, families, strangers, it doesn't matter. So God help me, I will continue to pour into people's joy and not add to their stress.
Yeah. Without asking a single question of Sonequa or David, they both leaned in rather quickly into their faith. Quickly and obviously publicly, since it's a live radio program. There are some who are willing to do that in this industry. There are others who are not. So I'm going to ask you both individually. I'll start with you, Sonequa. Why so transparent? Why so open? Why so out front about your faith?
Tavis, what a great question. I've never been asked that question.
Yeah.
I think, to put it simply and not to oversimplify, like David was just saying, it's because it is who I am. Who I am is whose I am. And if I were not to be transparent, then I would be inauthentic. And I just heard a word, literally just yesterday, from a pastor named Myron Golden, and he said, that you should show up in life with people, with every encounter, with nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to hide, nothing to prove. And
gain, lose, hide or prove.
Yeah, nothing, right? And it was such a great way to describe what the love of Christ provides you, what the invitation of that is. But there were many years where I had everything to gain, everything to lose, everything to hide, everything to prove, And it was really just about trying to be this image of myself that I felt was what the industry wanted, what the audience wanted, what my family wanted, what my friends wanted, all of that. And so the closer I get to God, and the more I realize my full potential, the more I expose myself, because it's really about exposure. It's really about me, lifting the curtain so you can see, like, hey, this is who I really am, and this is what I have. This is who I belong to. Everything that I have is because I was given it, not because I deserved it or earned it. As hard as I've worked, I was given everything.
David, I want to ask you the same question. And again, I'm pressing on this because it is one thing. I mean, this is what I do for 30 plus years of my life, where I talk to people. It's one thing to ask a person.
And also, sorry, Tavis.
Yes.
Can I just say, yes, for 35 years plus.
Yeah.
Right.
And along that journey,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
your consistency,
Right.
your way of always being able to find room to let your voice be heard and to create a platform for other people's voices to be heard. I salute you and celebrate you.
No, you're very kind. It means a great deal to me, and more importantly, it means a lot to my mama who's listening right
Hey.
now. So I appreciate all that. But I was about to say that it's one
Yes,
thing.
sir.
It's
Sorry.
one thing to ask someone about their faith and to wait for their answer. It is quite another to be in spaces like these where people don't have to do this and they lean in before you even get a chance to ask about it, which says, I think, something profound about the person, that they are trying to be authentic. They are trying to be transparent. You ain't got to ask me. I'm going to tell you because it's fundamentally who I am. It's like trying to hide my skin color, trying to hide my nose or my phenotype. I am who I am, and you're going to get all of me. If you agree to sit and talk to me, you're going to get me. And this is authentically part of who I am. But not everybody leans in that way, David. So Sonequa gave her answer about how and why she leans in that way. Why for David Ajala?
I think for me, like it's an ongoing journey with which I'm thankful to have the patience to be able to be present from moment to moment, you know, not dwelling too much on the past or thinking too much about the future and just being very present. I think one thing that faith has kind of empowered me to do over the years is it's definitely increased my level of empathy towards people. And I say that in a very genuine, selfless way, because my capacity for empathy and patience, it feels like a very humble gift that I give back to the world, that I give back to individuals, because I really do believe that everyone needs a helper. And sometimes, not that I don't profess to have all the answers at all, but the power in just giving someone your ears for them to just speak. I try to be curious without being judgmental, and I practice what I preach as best I can.
Yeah.
And I sit very peaceful in reaching people, meeting people where they're at.
Yeah. I have had, Sonequa, this conversation with Denzel and I boxed together. Denzel Washington, D and I boxed together. So we've had.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Travis, who's that?
I know, right? I was like, whoa.
No. Let me pick that name up I just dropped. Let me
love
let
it.
me pick
Yo,
it up.
yeah, here, I'll pick it up for you.
Yeah. I only raise it because I'm not trying to name drop. I
love it.
I raise it because D and I've had this.
Love it.
D and I've had this conversation many times over the course of our friendship over the years, and that is, and again, people in the last couple of years saw him be more public about his faith, and he got baptized, and everybody saw that. Everybody remembers that when Denzel did all that. And he chose to do that publicly, so that's a statement about him. But I've often wondered of D and people like Sonequa and David and others, how in an industry like this, your faith impacts your choices. How does your faith impact? Because you are a thespian, you're an actor. That's what you do. And yet, because that is a part of your DNA, I can only assume that, like everything else, your morals, your ethics, your values, your faith, all these things, your family, all these things impact. You know, there are any number of things that impact the choices that actors make on any given day. So my question specifically now, Sonequa, is how, and I want to move past this in a moment, but I'm just fascinated by this since you and David got me started. Y'all went there. I'm just following y'all. So blame yourselves for this line of questioning. Blame yourselves for this line of questioning. But how does your faith impact your choices, your acting choices, Sonequa?
Thank you for that question, and for just giving us the space to talk about this and to be authentic with each other.
Yeah.
No, I have to be brutally honest with you, Mr. Tavis Smiley. It has changed.
Yeah.
It's changed over the years. I made different choices when I was younger, but again, the further I go along this path of faith, the more my choices are altered based on it. And I said to myself a few years ago that I was going to, do my best to not compromise. Compromise became a big word for me. And, that's based on what I feel I'm gleaning from prayer and the word and all of that. But I certainly say no a lot more.
Yeah.
Now. And I have to trust, and I do trust. I never worry. I never fear. I trust that I am where I'm supposed to be, and I am being led, and I am being guided. And so if I say no, and I say no to huge opportunities all the time because I feel that they would be compromising for me, I always trust that I am where I'm supposed to be, and I am headed where I'm supposed to be headed. And it's really like David, like you said so beautifully, David, it's really about love. And it's really about making choices for love as well, and getting to a point where every choice I make is a choice I made in love. And so that's when I do say yes, and when I say no, and when I show up as well. It's like it's all about love. If I can become love and be it every moment in every way, that's the goal.
David, I got 60 seconds right now. We can continue, of course, when we come forward, but at least start your answer in 60 seconds about how your faith impacts your choices.
I feel like because it's such a transparent, open thing which I'm navigating and understanding, I literally just go from moment to moment and from gig to gig. I have to be able to find something impactful that connects with my spirit that I can share through the character. That's always going to be important to me.
Nope, I get that. Yeah, if you can't connect, I said to somebody the other day, I was speaking somewhere and during the Q&A, I said to somebody that no matter what our work and or witness is, I've come to believe that we are at our best only when others can situate their humanity in what we're presenting. If others cannot situate their humanity in the work and witness that you are advancing, you're missing the mark some sort of way. And so I own that myself every single day, that I hope that the conversations that I'm up to curate allow people to situate their humanity in the moment. So, for example, I know there's somebody listening right now who just got excited about hearing Sonequa and David talk about how they show up, how they make decisions born of their faith. Because there are folk wrestling with these questions all the time. So the conversation ought to be one where people can situate their humanity in the discourse, in the dialogue. And that's what I hear David saying about the choices that he makes. He's got to connect to that humanity and that character and be able to bring that to the fore. I'm delighted to have them here. Well, David ain't here. David's over there. But he's here virtually. It's David Ajala. It's Sonequa Martin Green. We are celebrating Star Trek Discovery over a decade ago, and that love, that black love they put on screen for all of us to celebrate. But that was a decade ago. They both got a bunch of stuff they're working on right now, including Boston Blue and Law and Order. We'll talk about that and a great deal more with David and Sonequa when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
We thought that he was leaving us a message before he died by writing down the letters OSZ on the car seat. But what if OSZ is actually numbers 052, which is part of the incomplete passcode to his iPad? It's a theory.
Maybe. And the passcode has 8 digits, which means we only need the last 5.
I know what it is.
You do?
He loved Boston PD, right?
Yep.
He wanted to be one of us. So his code, 0526
1854.
What do those numbers mean?
So, if Connor was a super fan of the oldest and greatest police force in these here United States,
The greatest would be the NYPD.
Boston PD was founded May 26th, 1854.
Would you look at that?
And look at that. A video titled The St. Patrick's Day Parade Investigation.
I don't know how you two do it.
When my investigation first began, I had no idea it would lead to this. I mean, a terrorist attack against the St. Patrick's Day Parade. So this is huge. As soon as I complete tonight's surveillance, ID the suspects, I'll bring my findings to Superintendent Silver. It's the most important thing I've ever done in my life.
That's it? The most important thing he's ever done in his life? He hasn't told us one thing about the terrorist attacks or the mopes who planned it.
Well, they must have caught him snooping around, getting on in their plans. That's why they shot him.
Any credible terrorist threats in your security briefing?
We've received dozens of threats, which is standard for an event like this, but each one was investigated and quickly ruled a hoax.
We can't do that here. Not with our sole witness lying in the morgue with 3 bullet holes. You know what this means, Sarah?
There's a credible threat against the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yeah. And we got less than 48 hours to stop it.
Yeah, I love a great trailer.
I know, right?
that thing's got some energy on it. It's got some energy. Our guest in this hour are Sonequa Martin Green, David Ajala. We are celebrating 10 years since their seminal series, Star Trek Discovery, started its long run in production. We thought today would be, again, a propitious time to have this conversation, given that everybody's talking about a particular black man right now in outer space. But we are grateful to Sonequa and David for the characters they brought us that put black love on screen. Reminded us that black love is enduring and will make its way into the future if there is one, no matter how scary that future might be. But since that time, they've done, both of them, obviously, some great work, and they're still doing great work, including Boston Blue. This is the Blue Bloods spinoff that stars one Sonequa Martin Green. Sonequa, talk to me about Boston Blue.
Oh my goodness. So grateful for it. Like you said, it's the spinoff of Blue Bloods. It's a new chapter in this franchise. It's such a beloved one. Here I am again on another beloved franchise, doing a new iteration of it.
Look at God.
I'm telling you, look what he's
as my
doing.
big mama would say, look, baby, look at God.
Look at God. He's writing an amazing story. Yeah. We got to let him cook, right?
Yeah.
I got to keep letting him cook. But yes, it's the Silvers are the big law enforcement family in the city of Boston, and it's great because we're this multiracial, multicultural, multi-faith family. And our Ernie Hudson, just being able to work with him, being able to work with Gloria Rubin. You know, I mean, everybody, Marcus Scribner and Maggie Lawson and Mika Amundsen, I know how to nurture a show family, and it's happened yet again. It's lightning in a bottle in a lot of ways because we're so close and we love each other so dearly. Donnie Wahlberg, though, like when I tell you that man, he's a man of great faith, and he's an exemplary leader and such a sweet, giving, generous person. So it's been a great time, and this character, you know, I continue to play these strong, vulnerable women, and I've never played a cop before. Yeah. And I even when I was trying to figure out how to like use my Glock, I was like, see, I'm used to a phaser that only has stun and kill. Like, what is this magazine release? Like, what is happening? But it's been so amazing to be able to, play yet another woman who is heroic, who is sacrificial, who gives her life for the betterment of others. Yeah. That kind of honorable existence it fascinates me. People of honor, in real life, you know, like we were just talking about. You're a man of honor, and I'm moved by that. Yeah. I've been having a really, really good time. I could keep going, but David, you got to talk about, you know.
Yeah, hold on, David. I got some Law and Order, so I trust me. You in this too. Just 1 second here. I got a clip for you too. But I'm struck by those words you use, which seems to be. I mean, it can be read as an interesting duality. You said you are used to playing these strong and vulnerable characters. Yeah. I heard that, Sonequa. I heard that. You thought I missed that, didn't you? How does one do that? How do you play a character that is both strong and vulnerable?
Oh, great question. Thank you for asking. It's someone who is not afraid to lead with their heart. Yeah. And not afraid to connect, because I think there's varying degrees of a heart availability that we have. And I think when someone has their hearts all the way open, that's actually the strongest person.
I like that, heart availability. You dropping bars now. you dropping bars, Sonequa. Heart availability.
You know, and it's like, and that's true strength. Yeah. But it's vulnerable. Yeah. As well. When you open your heart to someone, obviously, you know, it's like, but that is true strength. Yeah. And that is how we show up and love someone where they are. That's how we make room for humanity, right? It's how we choose love and give love. So I have been able to play women like this, and that's Detective Lena Silver. It's this woman who is so capable and competent and powerful, ferocious, but also has this fragility because her heart is 100% open.
I love it. That's Boston Blue, starring Sonequa Martin Green. When we come forward, I got some Law and Order for you, and we'll let David Ajala talk about his project. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Sonequa Martin Green and David Ajala. We just gave Sonequa Martin Green some love on her work on Boston Blue. Let's give David Ajala some love on his work on Law and Order. Miles, give me that clip.
Ooh, damn.
Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty ripe. You're gonna want this. Helps hide the smell.
Yeah, I'm good with that, though.
I'm good, too.
Lock was flipped.
The door to the exterior was pried open, too. Ugh. All right. Female, from the looks of it.
Not a very tall one if she could fit inside this suitcase.
No, definitely on the shorter side. Didn't find any ID. And based on decomposition and the amount of accumulated dust, I'd say she's been down here a long time. Like months, not weeks.
Jesus, somebody just left her down here to rot?
I can't take this no more, man. Give me the smell stuff. I changed my mind. Thank you.
I heard Sonequa a moment ago, David, as did you say, up until Boston Blue, she never played a cop. It occurs to me that both of y'all Negroes are playing cops. I hadn't really put that together until just now. But talk to me, David Ajala, about Law and Order.
It's wild because, like, you know, like the fact that Sonequa and myself are playing cops in like different parts of America, it is just it's wild and beautiful at the same time. You know, when Sonequa wins, when she wins, her family wins, I win too. You know, and just see. It just makes me laugh because it is so very, very wonderful. But I will say, like, working on Law and Order and playing a detective, it's funny because and I don't say this in a slight or to be self-deprecating, but I'm an individual that doesn't entirely take myself too seriously. So the fact that I'm playing a detective, it always makes me chuckle. But I have to say, joining the franchise, I've been met with so much kindness, love, and support. It's been so very, very great. To be able to have the freedom that I have.
I wanted to ask you about that, David. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to ask you about that.
No,
what is it like when you are given the invitation to join a franchise like Law and Order, man?
You've done it again.
You know what's really interesting? Sorry, Sonequa, go for it.
No, I just said you've done it again.
I know, like, it's just, it's wild how we've both done this. And, like, I don't per se, like, try and carve out specific kind of career moves. I really do just pursue the character. So I'll just take you back a little bit, both of you and the viewers who are listening. 2024, I did a TV series for MGM Plus. Straight after that, I had a few weeks off, and then I did a Netflix movie with Keira Knightley and Guy Pearce, which was so cool because they had for the specific role that I played in the movie, and I could say this, Netflix wanted a really big name for this role. They just wanted a really big name. But the director, and I don't think I mentioned this to you, Sonequa, the director, Simon Stone, who has definitely shown himself to be an advocate for myself, he saw Star Trek Discovery. He watched the first episode, Sonequa, that we had together. And I kid you not, after watching that episode, he was like, that's my guy. Literally.
Look at that. See?
And then he, like, you can't make this up. Literally, he's like, that's my guy. And then I went through the process, but it was a very low-key process where they're only seeing like maybe 3 actors for this role. And then it worked out in my favor, which was incredible. And then off the back of that, I did a play. And I was happy to take some downtime just to kind of have a bit of respite and then regroup. And then I got a call from my team saying that Law and Order, and specifically Dick Wolf, they're looking for this new detective. And my team at CAA have been having conversations with the guys at Law and Order, and they kind of wanted to bring me to the forefront of the conversation. So they flew me out to New York. I spoke with Dick Wolf, with Peter Jankowski, Rick Eade. These are the producers on the show, and then Jonathan, one of the casting directors. And we had a few conversations very specifically about the nature of this character. And then after, I won't divulge too much, but it was just really, really creatively stimulative. And then I flew back to London, and then I spoke to my team the day after. They wanted me to digest it and to process it. And then they were like, right, David, well, if you're interested, because they thought the meeting went really, really well, and they loved what you did, and this, that, and the third, they said that you're their guy.
I love a story like that. I'm laughing, though. I'm watching my clock here. I'm laughing, thinking that if I ever have to tussle with a cop, I hope it's a Christian cop, like Sonequa or David. Because I'm just going to say, how about you not arrest me? Can't we just pray?
Yeah,
can we just have a word of prayer?
How about you just forgive me?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Just have a word of prayer, forgive me, and let a brother go. You're listening to Tavis Smiley. Tara Smiley, Sonequa Martin, and David Ajala. I got a tight 4 minutes left here in this program, so let me see if I can get out of here.
Okay.
I think I want to close with this as the exit question. We started here, and I want to close here, talking about your relationship, this black love in Star Trek Discovery a decade ago. You heard David tell a story a moment ago about how he ended up getting this job because the guy saw you guys on the first episode. My question is very simply, what is the enduring legacy of your work together on Star Trek Discovery?
Well, you know what? In 4 minutes, I'll take about 30 seconds. I think it is very much that. I think it is very much the power of black love. I think it's also the authenticity of it because it wasn't something that we had to discuss. We were just able to authentically be. We made each other better. We were the classic, like, iron sharpening iron. Mutual respect, mutual giftings. We you know, it's that famous adage of, like, you make me want to be a better man. They both. He made her want to be a better woman, and she made him want to be a better man. And I think seeing that in a black couple is so huge because it's not just about seeing ourselves, it's seeing ourselves at our greatest potential.
That's right.
And I think that's what you see with these two capable, competent, brilliant black people that love each other for who they are. And what you see in the finale, you see us years and years and years later. We were so thrilled to be able to do that. As an elderly couple, they've sustained, and now their son is a captain and carrying on that legacy. It meant so much to be able to do that in the Trek franchise, in Star Trek Discovery. And I loved working with my brother. I tell you, he leads with joy. And I love that you're going to get to do that on Law and Order, brother, because you do it everywhere. And I learned a lot from him because of that. So
she left you 90 seconds, David. Take it and run with it.
Listen, it's an absolute joy. You know, many times when Sonequa and myself would like rehearse a scene, or you know, we're acting out a scene or whatever, we rarely spoke about character development and whatnot. And it's not to say that we were avoiding it, but I think there was just the trust and the synergy there that allowed us to authentically be the best versions of ourselves. These two, just piggybacking off what Sonequa was saying, iron absolutely does sharpen iron. Cleveland Booker is a better man because of Michael Burnham. And I've said this before, behind every great woman, not just Sonequa Martin Green, but also Michael Burnham, is herself. And I love the fact that this man, Cleveland Booker, could stand to the side and let his partner, his soulmate, lead from the front.
I love it. Two beautiful spirits. I figured this would be a good conversation. It's been gooder than I thought it was going to be. And I'm delighted to have had the opportunity to talk to both of them simultaneously. David Ajala, thank you for your work and your witness. And I'm honored to have had you on this program, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bless you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Absolute joy.
Thank you, sir. And Sonequa Martin Green, how honored am I that you came in studio. Drove all the way from way out there. I'm just going to say way out there. All the way over here. To come in the studio to see me. So thank you.
The honor is mine. It means a lot to be here. Thank you.
I mentioned to you privately, I'm going to say publicly, I love that movie Sarah Zorro with you and your husband.
Oh, thank you so much.
Love the film. And so just keep doing the great work you're doing. And God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Just like that, 3 hours are gone. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until tomorrow, thanks for tuning in to Tavis Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.